And this morning on Lifestyle Live, we're thrilled to have Alexander Joyce from Rejoyce Financial with us today because we're going to talk a little bit of money. And one of the neat things about your firm, in my opinion, is the fact that you are a holistic firm. Let's talk a little bit about what that entails.
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces, and it was an interesting decision. It was a hard decision because it's expensive, right? It's costly. It was a decision that I made a little over 10 years ago to incorporate tax planners, CPAs, tax filers, attorneys, right? Wealth strategists. We've moved people from all around the country. We've hired great talent. We're still seeking the best talent we possibly can to interact and to work with our clients. And it's really interesting because most people I found that are saving money for retirement or for any purpose, whether it's a car or a house or to live off of, and they've established or they're in the process or have a portfolio of any kind, they really firmly believe that that's a plan. And I don't want anybody to take any offense, but what I call a statement is a pile of money. There is no direction, there is no plan, there is no roadmap to that. It serves one purpose, and that is to look at and make sure there is a bunch of green arrows pointing up. All right, too many red arrows pointing down, well, we have a problem, right? Yeah. And those who have what's called a real financial plan, a roadmap, a direction, if you will, they tend not to have a tax plan. And those that have a tax plan and a financial plan tend to have no estate plan. And we saw that as a problem, right? And we don't want to burden our clients with having to say, hey, go run down the street and talk to John or Jim or Jane Doe, and they can get your estate plan together, right? Or go talk to such and such down the road, and they can do your taxes. And so what we wanted to do to give our clients the peace of mind and the benefit to work with a firm like ours, the value proposition, George, is to just create a systematized process, right, that works for everybody, and they can come in and they can have each person, right, at the conference room table to serve one purpose, and that is the client in front of us.
I want to make a left turn now and just ask you about the environment we are in right now in terms of investing, because I think a lot of us got out of the stock market when things started going south. Yeah. And then the question that is always lingering over our heads is, okay, when do we get back in? What kind of conversation should I be having with my financial advisor about that?
That's a great question. I have said that so often. I have said the easy part of the market is getting out.
Right.
The hardest part is getting back in. And so most people thought the bottom was last quarter. Yeah. Right? And we'll have the same conversation with people next quarter. Yeah. Right? Is that the bottom? And so I think that for those that have gotten out of the market, and we also see those that have taken money out of equities and put money in bonds, well, we have to understand the challenge that we're having in the market today is caused by interest rates and inflation. Yeah. Right? We don't have we have an overheating housing home environment such as 2008 where things were difficult. We don't really have that problem now. The problem with the housing market today is inflation, right? We have a cost issue. We are going through a time where, of course, the Fed is working on what's called quantitative easing. They are causing pain in the market so we don't overheat. Yeah. Won't turn this into a political conversation, but times like these, right, say we're overdue. They have to happen. Yeah. Right? I think that the biggest value I can add from a getting back in perspective is just if you're doing it yourself, maybe get some advice from some advisors that perhaps don't charge a fee for consultation or analysis. We don't, but at least what that will do is it will give you my perspective, my thought. This is what I do for a living. I know a lot of do-it-yourselfers are engineers or they're doctors or they're teachers or they're whatever, right? And they do maybe their portfolio part-time. To me, this is a full-time job. Right, and I do it, and I have been doing it for a long time. It's all I know. And so I think that when we run reports and we look at lines of resistance and we're running real data and we're looking at Morningstar data and just, decisions based off of data-driven facts, I think it's easier for us to give advice to our clients about what our thoughts are.
And just in an overall sense, are you optimistic that there's going to come a time when George Mallet is going to say, Alex, get me back in the market?
I think so. Yeah. I think from State of the Union 1929s and the depressions, Great Recessions, interest rate spikes, homing crisis, I mean, all these things call this, that they'll give this situation a title, but it won't be for a couple of years, right? Just like the Great Recession wasn't the Great Recession while it was happening, right? And so we'll put a theme on this thing as time goes on because it's a part of history. But I think that even when we get past this, the pandemic, right, and all of this, I think that we'll run the report, right, and we'll say it's a thing of the past, and the market has always and will probably continue, if not better with this in it, average a 7% return.
There you have it. He is Alexander Joyce. Alex, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Rejoyce Financial.